Healthy blood flow is absolutely essential for the optimal brain function and mental health. The brain blood flow, or cerebral blood flow, refers to the supply that reaches your brain during any given period of time. Your brain needs almost 20% of the blood supply provided by each heartbeat. A steady flow of blood brings oxygen, glucose and nutrients into the brain, and it carries carbon dioxide, lactic acid and other metabolic waste from the brain. But when the blood flow is hindered, cognitive problems can arise. Poor brain blood flow and circulation are linked to a number of brain and mental illnesses, including cognitive dysfunction and brain fog, chronic fatigue syndrome, dementia, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Also, anxiety, obsessive-compulsive disorder, panic disorder, agoraphobia, traumatic brain injury, and Lyme disease. Increasing blood flow to the brain might be an effective therapeutic way to prevent or treat Alzheimer's. Some of the main causes of poor brain blood flow include the abnormal blood pressure, poor circulation, low thyroid, infections, and stress. Besides addressing these major causes, there's several ways to directly increase the amount of oxygen-rich blood that flows to your brain. Researchers use neuroimaging techniques such as functional magnetic resonance imaging, or fMRI, and positron emission tomography, or PET scans, to measure the cerebral blood flow. Exercise is one of the best and most accessible ways to increase the blood flow and circulation to your brain. Researchers show that moderate exercise increases blood flow to the brain by as much as 15%. And you don't need to work out intensely to increase the blood flow. Simply walking for 30 minutes at a brisk pace, 3 to 4 times each week, is good enough. That will get more blood and oxygen to your brain, and you'll reap the benefits. In fact, the foot's impact on the ground while walking sends pressure waves through the arteries, and this sends more blood and oxygen into the brain. There's many studies that suggest exercise improves brain function in older adults, but we don't know exactly why the brain improves. The studies indicate it might be tied to the improvement in the supply of blood flow to the brain. Exercise has also been shown to protect against cognitive decline and dementia, promote neurogenesis, help reverse brain damage, and promote the regeneration of myelin. So it's not surprising exercise is recommended by many experts, and it's often the number one piece of advice for optimal brain health. Exposing yourself to cold temperatures can also help to get more blood flowing to your brain. Research shows putting your hand in ice water for 1 minute can significantly increase the speed of the blood flow to the brain. Researchers have also found that cooling the skin during upright tilting maintains the speed of blood flow to the brain. Animal studies also show cold exposure significantly increases cerebral blood flow. You can take a cold shower every day and go outside in minimal clothing in the winter to help increase the blood flow and circulation. You don't have to do it all right away. You can start out by finishing your next shower with 30 seconds of cold water. It can be painful at first, but you get used to it and the benefits are worth it. Another way to ease yourself in is by sticking your face, hand or foot into ice-cold water. Cold exposure also stimulates the vagus nerve and supports the endocannabinoid system. Sunlight can increase blood flow to the brain. Research also shows that light stimulates the brain blood flow and circulation. PET scans measure the blood flow to specific areas of the brain. In one study, the researchers used the PET scans to monitor the cerebral blood flow in patients with seasonal affective disorder before and after light therapy. Before the light therapy, the scans showed the patients had reduced blood flow to the cerebral cortex, the executive part of the brain. But after just a few days of light therapy, this part of the brain started to light up, indicating greater activity and increased blood flow. But it isn't just seen in depressed individuals. Another study found 10 minutes of light exposure can increase brain blood flow in healthy people. Light therapy even increases the brain blood flow in preterm infants. You can get sunlight every day during the spring and summer to support the brain health. Researchers have also found a positive correlation between vitamin D levels and brain blood flow, so get a blood test and take vitamin D to supplement to help to boost your levels. Ginkgo Biloba is a plant that's been used for thousands of years to treat a number of health problems. Today, it's one of the most popular herbal supplements in the world. Doctors even prescribe it in Germany. It's most commonly used to improve the brain health. The researchers have found it increases cognitive function and improves memory and attention in both healthy and unhealthy individuals. It even reduces the risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. These positive effects are mainly because it significantly increases the blood flow to the brain and increases the blood circulation in the brain. Low-level laser therapy, or photobiomodulation, is a treatment that uses red and infrared light to support brain function. The treatment uses either low-power lasers or light-emitting diodes to emit red and infrared light. The red and the infrared light is applied to the brain, and it stimulates the brain cells, helping them to function better. One way the low-level laser therapy can help the brain is by increasing the blood flow and circulation. One study found applying the near-infrared light to the forehead can help to treat depression and anxiety without side effects by increasing the frontal region cerebral blood flow. Another study saw improvements in the brain blood flow in healthy elderly women. Animal research has also found the light can be used to locally increase the brain blood circulation. The low-level laser therapy can also increase the thyroid function and the mitochondria function and help with brain fog. Vinpocetine is a compound found in the periwinkle plant. It's commonly used in Europe to treat cognitive decline, memory impairments, stroke recovery, and epilepsy. Researchers have found it increases the brain blood flow in both healthy people and stroke victims. The increase in the brain blood flow leads to increased brain oxygen levels and energy production, reduced brain inflammation, and improved reaction time. Meditation is linked to increased blood flow in the brain. In one study, 14 people with memory problems followed a simple 8-week meditation program, and the researchers found a significant increase in the blood flow to the prefrontal cortex. Logical memory and verbal fluency also improved after the training. Another study showed just 5 days of meditation, 30 minutes each day, significantly enhanced the brain blood flow. Resveratrol is a beneficial antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compound. Red wine and red grapes contain resveratrol. It's an antioxidant that can increase the blood flow to the brain. It's known to help prevent the development of neurodegenerative diseases, and researchers are starting to understand why. Resveratrol can increase brain-derived neurotrophic factor, help restore the integrity of the blood-brain barrier, and support your mitochondria. But it can also help you to quickly get more blood flow and oxygen to the brain. In one study, after taking either 250 or 500 milligrams of resveratrol, the participants experienced a dose-dependent increase in blood flow to the brain. Even just 75 milligrams has been shown to increase the brain circulation and cognition. And a recent study found that chronic resveratrol supplementation increased the brain blood circulation in postmenopausal women, improving their cognition and mood. Most people love chocolate, and your brain loves it too. The dark chocolate contains cocoa, which is known to improve the blood flow. Research suggests the flavonoids increase the blood flow to key areas of the brain for 2 to 3 hours after ingestion, and this leads to an improvement in cognitive performance and general alertness. Certain food components, like the cocoa flavonols, might be beneficial for increasing the brain blood flow and enhancing the brain function among older adults, and for others in situations where they might be cognitively impaired, such as fatigue or sleep deprivation. One study found flavanol-rich cocoa significantly increases the speed of brain blood flow in healthy elderly people. Another study found drinking 2 cups of hot chocolate for 30 days was linked to improved blood flow to the brain and better memory. Dark chocolate also increases brain-derived neurotrophic factor and reduces the stress hormone cortisol. It's important the dark chocolate is at least 70% cocoa. Omega-3 fatty acids are high-quality fats for your brain. They're essential. This means your body can't create them, and you have to get them from food or supplements. Making sure you get more omega-3s is one of the most important actions you can take to support your brain and your nervous system. Many studies show they significantly reduce the brain inflammation, improve memory, mood and cognition, and protect against mild cognitive impairments, dementia and Alzheimer's disease. They also naturally increase the brain blood flow and circulation. Research shows higher omega-3 levels are significantly correlated with higher regional cerebral blood flow. This is very important research because it shows a correlation between lower omega-3 fatty acids and reduced brain blood flow to regions important for learning, memory, depression and dementia. And one study found omega-3 supplementation in comparison to placebo significantly increased brain blood flow. Unfortunately, most people don't consume enough of these foods. Acupuncture is an alternative treatment and it's been shown to increase brain blood flow and circulation. In a randomized control trial, 17 post-stroke patients did acupuncture or sham acupuncture for 20 minutes. The researchers found the speed of the blood flow to both hemispheres of the brain significantly increased during and after the acupuncture treatment. Research also shows that acupuncture can significantly improve the cerebral blood flow and circulation in animals. You can also use an acupuncture mat at home to relax before bed. Acupuncture also stimulates the vagus nerve. Research shows chewing increases the brain blood flow. As a result, the chewing can improve cognitive performance and brain function, including working and spatial memory. It also increases the level of arousal and alertness during a cognitive task. If you chew gum, make sure it's aspartame-free. Chewing gum also reduces the stress hormone cortisol. Acetyl-L-Carnitine is an acetylated form of the amino acid carnitine. It's known to help to reverse neurological decline by increasing the levels of acetylcholine in the brain. It's often used as a brain booster by people of all ages because it supports brain cells and increases alertness. It's also been shown to be a very effective way at alleviating chronic fatigue and improving mood by supporting the mitochondrial function. Considering all of this, it's not surprising researchers have also found it can enhance the brain blood flow in people who've had a stroke. Nitrates are naturally occurring compounds found in soil and plants. High levels of nitrates are found in foods like beets, celery, cabbage, spinach, and other leafy green vegetables. Research shows a nitrate-rich diet can increase blood flow to the frontal lobe of the brain, improving cognitive function and protecting against cognitive decline. Beetroot juice is a particularly rich source of nitrates, and studies have found it can help to widen the blood vessels and increase oxygen and blood flow to the brain. A double-blind, placebo-controlled trial found the beetroot juice can improve cognitive performance by increasing the brain blood flow. Coffee is generally excellent for brain health. There's a lot of research showing it's very healthy and can be protective against dementia. However, studies also show if you want to get more blood flowing to the brain, and within your brain, you're better off avoiding or limiting caffeine. You should try to limit your intake, or take it with theanine instead. The researchers have found that caffeine significantly reduces the brain blood flow by 20 to 30%. The good news is taking the amino acid L-theanine can reduce the negative brain blood flow effects from the caffeine. Taking the herb Rhodiola rosea can make quitting caffeine easier because it helps to reduce withdrawal symptoms. You could also try supplementing with the whole coffee fruit instead of just drinking coffee. The coffee bean is usually separated from the whole fruit for roasting, and when this happens, the surrounding fruit is thrown away. The problem here is the coffee fruit contains several healthy compounds not found in the coffee beans themselves, and scientists have found ingesting the coffee fruit significantly increases the brain function. Piracetam is a nootropic, and this means it's a supplement that enhances cognition. It provides a mild boost in brain function, and is regularly used in Europe, Asia, and South America to treat cognitive impairment. A meta-analysis found Piracetam improves general cognition when supplemented by people in a state of cognitive decline. Research also shows it can increase the brain blood flow in humans and animals. Phenylpiracetam is an advanced version of Piracetam, and it can be even better because it improves mood and reduces anxiety. It's also been shown to reverse the dependent effects of benzodiazepines. Both Piracetam and Phenylpiracetam work best if you take them with a source of choline, such as CDP-choline or alpha-GPC. Make sure to check the legality of these in your country, as they're prescription drugs in some places, over-the-counter supplements in others, and for research purposes only in other locations. A ketogenic diet is a very low carbohydrate diet. To follow the diet correctly, you need to eat less than 50 grams of carbohydrates per day. This means you need to avoid all carbohydrate-rich food, including grains, sugar, even potatoes, legumes, and fruit. When you restrict carbohydrates this much, your body enters ketosis. It's a metabolic state where your body and brain run on fatty acids and ketones instead of glucose. The researchers have found the ketones are a therapeutic option in traumatic brain injury because they can increase the brain blood flow by 39%. Studies have also shown the ketones increase cerebral blood flow by 65% in animals. Calorie restriction also increases ketones, and this preserves cerebral blood flow in aging rats. You can follow a ketogenic diet every so often, but not for long stretches of time due to hormone problems that can result from it. Citicoline is also known as CDP-choline. It's one of the most bioavailable forms of choline. You need to get choline from food, but most people don't get enough because very few foods in the Western diet contain it. That's why supplementation is often necessary. Citicoline is a supplemental form of choline, and it has anti-inflammatory and neuroprotective effects. It enhances the synthesis of acetylcholine and dopamine, two neurotransmitters that are critical for the optimal brain function, and it increases the number of acetylcholine and dopamine receptors in your brain. It's also been shown to improve cognitive function by increasing the rate of brain blood flow. A double-blind, placebo-controlled study concluded citicoline improves cognitive performance in patients with Alzheimer's disease by increasing the brain blood flow. You can also find some choline in foods like beef liver and egg yolks, but the effects of citicoline are much more noticeable and immediate because it quickly passes the blood-brain barrier and supports your brain. The citicoline also promotes the regeneration of myelin, supports the blood-brain barrier, and helps reverse brain damage. Drinking blueberry juice improves cognitive function in the elderly, according to research. One way it improved the brain health was by increasing the oxygen levels and increasing the blood flow to the brain. The participants had improvements in working memory while doing cognitive tests. In the study, we've shown just 12 weeks of consuming 30 milliliters of concentrated blueberry juice every day. The brain blood flow, brain activation, and some aspects of working memory were improved in this group of healthy adults. The amount of juice in the study was equivalent to 230 grams of blueberries. The researchers believe the flavonoids in the blueberries were responsible for the positive effects. PQQ, or Pyrroloquinoline Quinone, is a vitamin-like enzyme and a potent antioxidant. It's found in plant foods and it can improve cognitive function. Researchers have found supplementing with the PQQ can increase the blood flow to the prefrontal cortex. One study found that PQQ can prevent the reduction of brain function in elderly people, especially in attention and working memory, by increasing the brain blood flow. It's taken at 20 milligrams per day, and it works synergistically with coenzyme Q10 ubiquinol at 200 milligrams per day. Insulin is one of the hormones that significantly affects brain function. It's been shown to pass the blood-brain barrier and to act on insulin receptors directly within the brain. Intranasal insulin has been shown to increase blood flow to the brain. In a new therapeutic approach, commercially available insulin is prepared and added to nasal spray bottles and sprayed and inhaled through the nose to support brain and mental health. Intranasal insulin has been reported to significantly enhance memory, increase mental energy, reduce brain fog, improve mood, and lower anxiety and stress levels. One possible mechanism is by increasing the brain blood flow and circulation. Research shows the intranasal insulin increases regional cerebral blood flow in the insular cortex. In a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial, the intranasal insulin improved brain function in older adults. Music naturally reduces cortisol, helps to treat OCD, and increases dopamine and oxytocin. But it looks like it also increases blood flow into the brain. Researchers found musical training or listening to music increases blood flow. It's even more effective when you're learning or listening to music that you enjoy. Some other solutions: you can reduce LDL or bad cholesterol and clear your arteries with things like hawthorn, cayenne, garlic, fish oil, and for extreme cases, the enzyme serrapeptase and red yeast rice. Other herbs and treatments are the amino acid L-arginine and citrulline, vitamin E, bacopa, curcumin, ginseng, icarin, forskolin, S-adenosyl-L-methionine or SAMe, quercetin, taurine, and finally guatacola. To book a consultation or to learn about any of the herbs or supplements mentioned in this presentation, check out my website.